Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Friday afternoon slash evening, Saturday morning Zoom edition, depending on where you are in the world. And Bitcoin had a bit of a crash today, brought down the whole market, down 5% in a few hours. Why did that happen? Let's go to the chart and check it out.
Isn't that the clean out that's needed for it to go up?
That would be one interpretation. Okay, so here we are on my Bitcoin hour chart, and we were hitting 72 in the wee hours of the morning Pacific time. Then a big crash around 11 or noon, just under 5%, and we've gained some of that back. So there've been a few headlines. The jobs data came in, the employment data came in higher than the normal. That's always annoyed me. That sends the market down, but I assume it's an inflation issue. So that had something to do with it. There was something wrong with the Bitcoin chain regarding OKX, and that slowed things down, may have had something to do with it. Or it's just those evil money grubbing market makers pushing down the prices on a long squeeze. Could be.
Yeah, they use the news to make the movements so that there's something else to blame.
Yeah. Yeah, and the news was pretty minor. So
Yeah,
but anyway, they jumped on it. I think situations like this are good news for since we're in a bull market, or good entry positions. I doubled up on a few of mine and improved the positions overall. Had one small liquidation on a trade I'd forgotten about. A little lax on my part, but anyway, hanging in there for the most part and looking forward to the recovery. I was hoping 70K would hold as support and really launch to the next phase, but just hasn't quite happened yet. So we'll see if we can break above 69 and work our way back towards 70 over the weekend and have a green Monday and go from there. So anyway, that's the hour chart on Bitcoin. The day chart, in the context of a day chart, it's not a big deal. It's still trending up. So we did have red days yesterday and today. Wouldn't surprise me if we had a dip something like this, and then another push above. Ethereum. Yeah, that's the article I was reading. On the day chart, yeah, it took a nosedive as well. And we're down 3% overall on Ethereum. From yesterday, lost about 6% before recovering a couple points. So market's down today, but should recover. Any questions or comments about the markets overall? Well, what do we do? Let's check out Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some day trades, short-term swing trades for over the weekend. Here we go. I'm on Altcoin Alert. Easy mode is off. I'm on the radar setting. Going to refresh, reload, get the most current information. My first sort is usually the AA score. Looking for values 80 or higher. Or, high 70s is good too. And today, looks like the ones I had today are off the list now. So we'll look for some new ones. BNB has been pumping lately, but overall not a real fast moving coin. Ocean I like. I trade that one with some frequency. Let's look at that one. Okay, Ocean. And we're on the 15-minute chart. My day trading layout includes supply and demand visible range, which I use for support and resistance. So I'll talk about the red zone as support, the green zone, is resistance, the green zone is support. Let me try that again. Green zone is support, red zone is resistance. And we've established support down here on Ocean around 70 cents. It's already up to 78.5. So a nice bounce up for Ocean since the dip we just talked about, up over 10%. The RTI when there's a big move like that, kind of smashes the indicators. The RTI, the relative trend index, is my favorite day trading indicator, and I tend to put alerts on it to let me know when it's a good time to get in on a trade. We've got the big dip already. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting in on this now. If it hasn't broken up above the 20, that's usually the signal to get in. So you can see it's kind of putzed around up here, but then dipping again. So it might dip down again before it comes back up. I think the alert to go with on this RTI setup, I right click, add the alert, crossing up on the 20. Once per bar close, if you want to leave it all on all day, I mean, it's kind of late afternoon on a Friday, I would probably just do this once and then be done for the day. Alert name, it's an AA score. You can call it what you want. I usually use the information source for my alert name. Notifications, notify in the app, show, which is the app on my computer. I'm sorry, on my phone. The pop-up on my computer, and play a sound also on my computer. And I'll go with chirpy. Click create. So if that dips down, or if that breaks above the 20, I'll have a decision to make, decide if I want to take a long on a Friday in the afternoon. I don't usually take longs this time of day on a Friday because the weekends tend to have lower volume and usually move negatively, but no guarantees on that either. And we'll look for a short for the weekend a little later. Okay, any questions on the RTI as a day Ocean as a day trade? All right, let's look at the swing trade setup. So if you want to hold this a little longer, it looks pretty good now. The buy just triggered right about here. We're a little late, but we got so much room up to the red zone that even if you got in now, double digits up to the red zone. Oh, theta, shoot. I'm a little scattered today. That's something I was looking at earlier. But I suspect Ocean will look similarly, yeah. So if you got in now on Ocean, about the same as we were just looking at, 14, 15% up to the red zone. So I like the entry now. It would have been better, obviously, a few hours ago, but hold some funds back if you do decide to get in case it dips back down to the green zone. You can make additional purchases or set a stop loss, probably down here somewhere. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you how I trade. So another option would be to look at set an alert on the SuperTrend for the next buy. Do that like this, add an alert and the buy. And again, go through the process I showed you before. And so that strategy essentially anticipates that there's going to be a dip. So a sell would print, and then another buy would print later, probably tomorrow or Sunday. So you probably get in around here in that scenario. So a little bit better entry than what you have now. Could take a look at divergence. Yeah, interesting. This divergence triggered last night ahead of this. So that would have been obviously a great entry on a short. 19%, good stuff. So I would look for potentially a divergence indicator going off probably around here somewhere when the candle action disagrees with the indicators. I haven't used divergence that much this year, but I still keep it around just in case. I'm looking just in case I'm feeling contrarian, because that's that's an entry essentially against the grain. So any questions on Ocean? Okay. Let's look at Altcoin Alert again. We'll do a different sort. I'm going to reload. Let's see, that was the AA score. Let's look at social activity. We'll match that up with trading activity. And when I get fire or thumbs up on both, that's usually worth looking at some more. Got fire and thumbs up on Mask, just something I trade sometimes. ZIL as well. INJ. Let's look at INJ. I haven't looked at that one in a while. That one does move nicely usually. Okay, on the day trading layout, that's kind of interesting. Broke back up, nearly recovered all of it, and then dipping again. So yeah, on our RTI, I think a break above would be a pretty good entry here. So your alert's going to be the same one we looked at before, crossing up on the 20. And then you know the rest. Now, if you want to trade both directions, which is what I usually do, you go with entering a channel. I like to go 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close. Again, that's going to be social activity sort. And the rest is the same. Click create. Then you'll get this rectangle here on the RTI. So when it dips down below and comes back up, you get the alert for a long. Then when it does like this, breaks above the 80 and dips down, get my vertical line here. You know, that happens right about here. And that would have been a great entry on that short. And then we had a break above the 20 here, but didn't hold. So you would probably need a secondary entry had you taken that trade. Yeah, down about 2% at the moment. Not too bad. Okay, any questions on INJ? Okay, let's check it out as a swing. Go the hour chart. All right, so on this one, SuperTrend, Trendilo. Yeah, we don't have a green buy signal yet, so this would be a really good potential entry if we get that. Currently on a sell, and let's say it comes back up, get in and buy around here somewhere, and then the top of the red zone's 10%. I'm usually looking for double digits on my swing trades because I'm in them longer. That's a bit risky. Thought that would move better than that on the 1 hour. Let's look at some of the longer time frames for retrace information. 4 hour, about the same. Day chart, reset. Okay, on the day chart, back in March, we were up over $50. So if you wanted to hold it that long, that could be a pretty amazing trade. If you went all the way to the top on the retrace, 86%, beginning of the red zone, 50+%. And but again, that trade's probably going to take longer. All right. Any questions on INJ? A quick review on that alert. Right click on the SuperTrend and buy. Maybe I'll take that one. Is that social activity? I think it was. Then I'll go with handbell. on my notification. That's what I use for swing trades. Okay. Any questions on this one? All right. Go to Altcoin Alert, do a different sort. So we've done AA score, social activity, do short-term sentiment. And I'm going to match bullish or very bullish with bullish on the Elder Impulse hourly. But I can see here we've only got 4 bullish entries on the hourly. None of them match at all. And that happens sometimes when you have a big move down. So instead of a long, let's look at this as a short. So we'll sort the opposite way and we'll match up bearish with bearish. And, there's a lot to choose from here, 200 of them, and then 28 on the sentiment. That's still a lot. These are all coins I've traded at some point, the first 5 of them here. And then there's some, favorites. Some I like the way they move. And not really. Didix, one of my favorites to trade, is a day trade. And that's got bearish on short-term sentiment and hourly impulse. So even though I've got this bearish signal, I would still consider a bullish move if I see what I like on the chart. So we'll go to the Didix chart. And right now it's had that big dip and then sort of consolidating sideways. If I set an alert for both directions, I'd still consider taking this as a long if it broke above the 20 with some force. And then there's still room down to the support area.
Biscuits?
Huh?
You don't have a timer on for your biscuits?
You guys, please.
Biscuits?
Oh,
No, I forgot to set it.
Hey, Linnell, can you mute, please?
Sorry.
I love biscuits as much as the next guy, but All right, see, where was I? Didix. So yeah, you could take a short here and you'd have room, 7% if it dips back down to where it was. Yeah, I think that could be a decent trade. I'd probably want to see some better candle action downwards because right now it's drifting slightly up. Cumulative Delta indicator, which I often use for confirmations, mostly going sideways, but again, drifting slightly up. So I don't know if I'd want to take a short at this moment. I like it better for a long, actually. And I do that with some frequency. I'll get long signals. If something's bearish on Altcoin Alert, that means it's usually been beaten down. So it can be due for a recovery. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. So if you want to, let's see what would be the best way to do this on a short. I think the best way to trade this would be go both directions if you trade like that. Entering a channel, 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom. If you think it's going to pump and then you want to short it after that, you're really cynical. Crossing down on the 80s, how you do that one. Okay, any questions regarding Didix as a day trade? All right, we'll look at it as a swing as well. And it's still on a sell. Trending up a little bit on the hour chart. But very similar to some of the other charts we looked at for 14, 15% up to the red zone on a long. I wouldn't short it here. Don't short at support, one of my rules. So yeah, I don't like it as a short at all on this chart. Maybe on the 30, it's going to be the same probably. Yeah. No, not looking good there as a short, but kind of like it as a long. Any questions on Didix as a swing? All right. Let's sort through Altcoin Alert using the long-term sentiment. And that's this one here. And we're going to match long-term sentiment up with the Elder Impulse Daily. Again, the sentiment score is something that people are talking about online. We're going to match that up with Elder Impulse, which is a technical indicator. And when they match, that's usually worthy of further investigation. We looked at INJ already. Might be the only one on the long side. LPT. Huh. Haven't traded that one in a while. Let's check it out. Okay, it's a day trade on the 15-minute. It's made a pretty good recovery. I like that. It's already broken above the 20 on the RSI, pushing for the 50. So, and then be sure to check Bitcoin when you enter the trade. You know, Bitcoin's trending up a little bit at the moment. It's up about $100 since we started this. Not much, but encouraging. And you know, if you got in now on this one, the red zone's 5 or 6% up. That's a really good day trade. Really good day trade. Yeah, it's broken above the 50, so that's a go on a long. As a short, it might hit this resistance again and then dip. So if you want to trade it as a short, get the ideal entry, you go crossing down on the 80. I think I showed that on the last one. Or you could trade it both directions, enter a channel, 80 and 20. So that one looks pretty good. And really, maybe either direction. Okay, on the swing trade. Okay, this is interesting. On the hour, the super trend hasn't triggered yet. Nor has the Trendilo LSMA, my moving average, turned green. It's trending down hard still, despite this candle action here. What's the 30-minute doing? Okay, the 30-minute just printed to buy about an hour ago. So if you took that now, it's not a bad short-term swing trade, 7% up to the middle of the red zone. You go farther, you can get as much as 9, but now you're relying on these wicks here for your return price. But yeah, I kind of like this as a long now. And then if you want to short it, right click on SuperTrend. Instead of choosing the buy, choose the sell. And the rest you know. You know what, the Trendilo just did turn green here, so yeah, could be a good one either direction. Any questions on LPT? Well, you guys are pretty quiet, so this has gone by pretty quickly. We've been through 4 different scenarios on Altcoin Alert. Any coins you want to look at in particular, or any questions about Altcoin Alert or day trading or swing trading overall? All right, looks like we're short and sweet and hard to beat. I'll let you guys go. If you're watching on the recording, thanks for that. Rather see you live on Monday, but check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. Otherwise, you guys have a good one. See you next time.
Have a great weekend, CJ.
All right,
Greg,
you too.
take care, buddy.